Jaden Rashada is in the portal. He's taken his talents out of Florida, but out of Arizona. Maybe to Georgia. What are the chances the Bulldogs land him? Do we want it? Next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello. Welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. He is Clint. I am Daniel. Thanks so much for making us your first listen of the day today. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Use code Locked On College for $20 off. More on Game Time in a minute. But today, Clint, we're back. We've got a new week's worth of shows to discuss. And we're going to kick things off this week with high-profile transfer target. Transfer portal just keeps going. It drags on, Clint. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like...
I don't understand when it stops, when it doesn't stop,
when nobody knows.
When it's not open.
Nobody knows. The transfer portal is like a jam band's going to a concert, going to a Fish concert. Yeah, you understand? Okay. One song ends, one song begins. I'm not sure. Like, it all just melds together. It just goes on.
You'd have to buy robes, and you have to be a guy that wears robes around, and it's just it's not something I want to do.
Plenty of robes at a Fish concert, I'll tell you that. We're here talking about Jaden Rashada, quarterback from Arizona State. He's in the portal. 5-star kid, big-time recruit coming out of high school. Very talented quarterback.
Very.
He's got a bit of a, how shall we say, interesting recruiting history.
We'll get to that. History.
There's some stories. Yeah, I've got some stories. We'll talk about that in segment 2. In segment 1, we're just going to focus on the fact that he's a very talented quarterback. He's being rumored heavily to Georgia ever since he put his name in the portal a few days ago, and is reportedly going to be on campus here at the end of the month, possibly late April, early May. Excuse me. Looking at some other SEC schools as well. It's obviously not just Georgia. Everybody in the portal's got to have multiple options, and talented kid. Obviously is very athletic, can throw the ball very well. He started the season for Arizona State. Didn't finish the season for them. Played early more than he played late. He's been sitting out most of the spring. Did not participate in any of the spring game stuff for Arizona State. And now all of a sudden, as some Georgia players did after the spring game, after spring practice, he hits the portal. And so, what are your early thoughts? We're going to get to, does Georgia want this? Like, do we want him in segment 3? So if you're curious, like, hey, do we even want to take a quarterback in the transfer portal? That's an interesting question. We'll talk about that in segment 3. But what are your initial thoughts on Jaden Rashada, the athlete, the quarterback, the football player, and the fact that he's being rumored and connected to Georgia here?
I think this goes back to something we said on the podcast, not to toot our own horn, but let's just say that the Carson Beck returning to Georgia and potential number 1 overall draft choice, as well as Heisman front runner, which again, he won't be Heisman winner, but he'll be in New York. Coming
and
back to this,
very well be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft.
The number 1 returning college quarterback. All the intangibles, development, NIL deals for days. It was insanely important for things such as this, because if you want to talk top tier talent at quarterback position, Rashada is part of that. We're going to get to why it was such a big deal at Florida when he signed initially, and then going to Arizona State, and why he had to get out of the SEC after everything that happened there. But if you're just looking at this kid's raw talent ability, it's there. Arm, strength, zip. He's got a little bit of a wiry frame. People have said he's a little taller, 6'4", 185, 190. Something like that. Kid is very, again, mobile. He has to be, but he's accurate with the football. He balled at Arizona State, Daniel, when he was in. Okay.
He can play.
Yeah. He can play. Okay. If you see some tape on him, he's able to do that. This is really important because it means Georgia is in the running. All you naysayers, Mike Bobo can't get offensive weapons on the campus. Kirby Smart. Well, how about now? How about now when we're talking every other college would love this kid in their quarterback room? We don't have to take him because we have Carson Beck right now and a whole slew of people right behind him. He wants in here to where what we're doing. And he's talented, guys. He can succeed on any system, in any system. He is not a systems quarterback. He's accurate with the ball. He has zip. He has mobility. He has smarts. He has tenacity. He wants to work. And know this just in. He knows that Georgia is a place that you can go, just like Carson Beck, get developed and be up on the top of the list to make that NFL payday money, which is what the ultimate hope is for this young man. So he's a talent that anybody in America would have. Daniel, do you see the same things I'm seeing?
Yeah, and I think I like how you framed it there because again, we're going to talk about does Georgia want Jaden Rashada in segment 3, but I think the story for segment 1 is that Jaden Rashada wants Georgia, and that's Georgia is and will continue to be a quarterback destination spot. Don't let, Kirk Herbstreit's recruiting prowess fool you in thinking that big name quarterbacks don't want to play at this just in. Ryan Puglisi, big name quarterback, Elite 11 quarterback. This just in, Gunnar Stockton, big name quarterback, big time 5-star quarterback. Carson Beck, even Brock Vandegrift, who's now at Kentucky, big time 5-star quarterback. Georgia is a quarterback destination now. And as Carson Beck continues to develop and becomes the number 1 overall pick, that is only going to continue. And so, listen, Georgia fans, get used to top quarterbacks hanging around the program. You understand? Just visiting campus, being around. Now, Georgia's not going to take them all. You can't take them all. There's a numbers game involved at quarterback. It's a strategic position. This is why college coaches these days have to be elite roster managers. And we'll talk about that in the third segment.
Yes.
But get used to the fact that big time quarterbacks are going to start wanting to come to Georgia. And you're already seeing it. The Carson Beck effect, as I think we're going to call it for years to come in following Georgia football. There will be a significant Carson Beck effect that will transcend his legacy in the program, well beyond his years in Athens.
And this started with the Stetson Bennett effect because Kirby Smart's a guy that says, I will mold you into a winner. I'll take anybody and do so. Come back, get developed, win championships, go to the NFL, and still be on a team. Rams got Stetson Bennett back in the program, doing good things. Go get some stet. It started there. Now combine that because no one is ever going to doubt that while Stetson Bennett is the greatest college quarterback of all time, Carson Beck is a more talented quarterback. No one's going to. Okay. Now you're in a tenacity, development, molding with that talent. Holy jeez.
Yeah, we feel good about that.
We feel great about that. We're going to come back after this and talk a little. Look, we all know Florida sucks, and we like Florida.
We like a good recruiting story. You may have forgotten this one. Let me just tell you, it's going to be worth jogging your memory here in a bit, right after these.
But these are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time's fantastic. Daniel and I have used them over and over and over. And here's what we love about them. It's authorized ticket marketplace for last-minute deals on games. Your boys are looking at a number of games this fall down in Athens. And you best believe we're using Game Time to get there. Right now, we got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. We got baseball. And we're looking forward to college football kicking off. You need to get killer last-minute deals, all in prices, views from your seats, and much more. Use the Customize Your Spot app feature to figure out what you need, what section you're in, what row, seat, all the like. Last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute deals for sports, concerts, comedy, theater. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets for Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code LOCKEDON. $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets. Lowest prices guaranteed. But that's not all. We also love FanDuel. FanDuel's fantastic. Daniel and I love betting sports And it's playoff time in the NBA, NHL, baseball's in
NBA
full swing.
playoffs.
FanDuel is your place to bet. Colin, by the way, go Celtics. There you go. I love you, Colin. How about that?
Wow.
Bet on every game.
I don't
right
love you
now.
that much, Colin. I'll tell you
New
that.
customers get $150 in bonus. The man was on a volcano, Daniel. Guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs, slam dunks, all on the app that is safe, secure, easy to use. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/locked-on. Make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Man was literally on a volcano, and you're not going
Weirdest FanDuel read of all time. The man was on a volcano. I don't think they had that in the copy.
It wasn't in the script.
Anticipated coming up. Listen, I'm glad he's off the volcano. Not enough to cheer for the Celtics, but there's a line somewhere in there. That's how I feel about it.
How about a line of deplorable to excellent programs? Is there a demarcation between a couple of schools that border each other, Daniel?
Let me tell you a story about a young man who just wanted to go to college and play quarterback. And so what he did was he signed to play quarterback at the University of Miami. Just put his name out there, just committed himself to the program, said Miami's where I'm going to go to. Miami's where I'm going to go. Yeah. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, a history of great talent in the program.
Yeah. It's Miami.
And I'm going to go down there. I'm going to play college football. I'm going to have a great time. But then Florida comes out and they bring out a big old bag of NIL money. And they say, Jaden Rashada.
And we talk record-breaking bag.
Come on down to the tune of $13 million. They say, come on down. I'm talking about they offer this kid the massively large bag in order to commit to their school. He flips to the Gators, ends up signing with the Gators in the 2023 cycle. And then in what is still today the weirdest, most soap opera-y NIL situation ever, he demands, basically sues the school, demanding a release from his letter of intent because the University of Florida,
what they do,
just doesn't give him any of the money.
They say, I know that we had a contract, but here's what we're going to do. We're just not going to do it.
We're not going to do it. And you'll just stay here and work for free instead. That was the deal. And Jaden Rashada said, I made a huge mistake. You ever watch Arrested Development? Like, this is what Jaden Rashada said. It's like, this is a Joe Bluth. I've made a huge mistake. And he, like so many who have gone before him, could not wait to get out of Gainesville, Florida. Just absolutely as fast as any mode of transportation he could find would carry him. He got the heck out of Gainesville, Florida, which congratulations to him. He's already a winner in my book. He has already overcome incredible odds to better his life. And so congratulations to him. Got out of Florida, goes to Arizona State, obviously spends the 1 year there and is now in the transfer portal again. He didn't ever want to be at Arizona State to begin with. Nope. The young man, he's behind the 8 ball. The recruiting cycle's already over. Everyone's already taken their quarterbacks. No one's really offering him the NIL money that he thought he was going to get because everyone's already spent all their money by the time he's looking to sign somewhere. And so I'm sure he goes to the place that has the availability, has the roster spot, maybe is going to give him a little bit of NIL money, whatever he was able to get at Arizona State. But this is a kid coming out of high school that had his pick of all the programs in all of college football.
You name them, he had an offer. Originally from California, but he winds up going to SEC country, Miami, ACC, get that, but Florida, and then back to Arizona State where his dad played. But you name the school, he has an offer from it.
Yeah, and so he never wanted to be at Arizona State in the first place. He's sort of forced into that because of the corrupt business practices at the University of Florida, and that is legitimately exactly what they were.
Not an exaggeration. And
now he finds himself at Arizona State. He's there for the one season, and not surprisingly, I think to anyone, he transfers out and is now on the open market again. Clint, it just goes to show you, I think.
What does it show us?
And I don't know how to summarize it any more succinctly than this. And so forgive me if there's a better way.
Okay.
This ain't the Sun Belt. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This is the big leagues. And it is not the Sun Belt.
Yeah, that's key.
Some people belong in the big leagues.
No, Kirby Smart.
Okay. And some people belong in the Sun Belt. That's it.
Okay, so here's the reality of the situation. Florida tried to put this off on the collective, saying, well, it was the collective's fault. They were shiesty about this. They were wrong.
Was the collective calling plays last year on the offense too? Is that whose fault that was as well?
Was the collective taking a trip out to Utah without the best player Utah's seen in ages? By the way, still to this day, one of my favorite bets. I put money, I double, triple bet that the first time it came. I don't even care anybody else. Give me all the points. Take off. It doesn't matter. Utah's beating the tar out of Florida in that game. Was Billy Napier the collective? Was he in charge of that game and getting and also, do you think, I just sincere question, Georgia fan, when you look at the recruiting and NIL and guys coming, Pop going to Kentucky, Brock Vandegrift going to Kentucky, do you not think that there was a guy at the collective that said, hey, we can find something for Pop. Hey, I think it'd be really nice if we kept Vandegrift. We could find something. We'd slice some things out. Do you not think Kirby said, no,
it's okay,
I'm fine, move on? And the collective, here's what they did. Okay, that's what they did.
Yeah. So, I think what you're trying to get at, in no uncertain terms, is who's in charge of the football program, Clint?
This is what I'm trying to tell you all.
If
Billy Napier is in charge and the collective was waffling and shicey on it, then it's Billy Napier's fault for fumbling that bag.
But in the Sun Belt, Clint, we don't have to deal with things like that.
Y'all,
you understand?
Florida
what
is
we
Florida.
Do is we get our 3-star quarterbacks in on campus, and we win one Sun Belt championship in 4 years. And then we get our 5-star quarterbacks down to Florida that can throw the ball 90 yards from a knee.
Yeah. Oh, it's
and
key.
We win nothing.
But
at all.
But look, roster management, defense wasn't that great. You got to look at the schedule being really ridiculous. Wait until he gets his players involved. Wait until he gets his guys into the system and part of the collective. But he's done all that too. All of that is now his system. His guys.
His players are transferring and playing running back for Georgia, so it's hard to get him involved.
Oh,
it's hard it's hard.
I can't believe they fumbled that bag. More to come. It's not the Sun Belt Billy, but you are Sun Belt Billy. So
I'll just say this: I'm not saying, again, loyal 199. Come back for the third segment. We'll talk about if we want this kid or not to come to Georgia. If he ends up at Georgia, it is maybe the most hilarious ending to the story that there could possibly be. That is legit. That is a legitimate stone cold fact.
And I need one of you to make the meme of Michael Corleone welcoming the people into his house as he stares out the door and the door is closing on him. And Corleone's just staring at the family past the door and put Kirby's face on there, because that's what he'd be doing to Florida and Billy at this point.
It's a tough scene.
It's a tough scene. We're going to come back after this, let you know if we want Rashada in black and red after this. But this is, in fact, Monopoly Go. Monopoly Go is fantastic. We love it. You should love it, because we both have a competitive spirit.
We're here to compete, Clint.
We out here. Look, there ain't a
basketball game to win the game. That's what you do.
That's exactly what you do. And Rashada might be wanting to win more games than he loses.
We
both have a competitive streak. And right now you can get in on one of the most competitive games. Downloaded 150 million times. Is great twist on Monopoly where you play not one, but hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations, building up amazing cities that bring you big money. Best part is You get to mess with your friends. You can not only charge them rent on iconic properties, but just like classic Monopoly, but now you can also heist their vaults of riches for yourself. And the leaderboard shows who is the biggest Monopoly tycoon. But it's not just my competitive side that loves it. You can team up with friends and people all around the world in timed tournaments to earn huge rewards. So go get the game, join your friends, download Monopoly Go now for free on the App Store or Google Play. Do we want Rashada? That's the question. And again, we say this every time, but it bears repeating because we have new 199. We're here with the 199, Daniel, the loyal third segment listeners.
We love the 199.
Which we literally do this show for you guys. If you're listening to this podcast right now, just so you know, Daniel and I do this show for you all.
That is correct.
Okay.
Everyone earlier
who's
not currently here, we don't care.
We don't care. Give zeros. Okay. Just
no.
Okay.
We ain't never hanging out with them in a Chili's. I promise you that.
I'll tell you this. By the way, if we all get to a Chili's some point,
we're gonna rally. We're gonna rally. I'm telling you, we're gonna be at some game. Clint, is there any chance that you and I find ourselves in Tuscaloosa, Alabama this fall?
There is an absolute chance of that being the case. Is there a chance if we make it to Tuscaloosa, Daniel, that we will need to go without Sans children?
$199. Let us know if you would help us take over a Tuscaloosa Chili's. That's all we're asking you is, would you be in to shut down a Tuscaloosa Chili's with us?
People are asking.
People are asking, and the people are me. Okay. Jaden Rashada, Clint. There are a lot of Georgia fans out there.
Yeah.
I have figured out, by the way, who hates the NIL and the transfer portal the most. A lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured out the Venn diagram of the people that hate it the most.
Getting a pencil. Hold on. Here we go. Okay.
It is the people who like to plan in advance, knowing who the quarterback's going to be at Georgia.
There it is.
Those people, and you know who you are. 199. You know who you are.
You do.
You like to think 2-3 years in advance. Oh, this guy's going to be the quarterback this year. And then next year he'll go off. And then this guy will be the quarterback. And then he'll go off. And this guy will come in and be the quarterback. The transfer portal and the NIL is a real tough scene for those people. Because it's the freaking Wild West out there, Clint. You never know.
It's the same people that shake the Tic Tac box 3 times before they get 2 Tic Tacs out. That the Venn diagram of those people and the people that are doing sequential ordering of the Georgia quarterback room.
I can't think of one thing those things have in common, and yet I see no lies.
Zero lies are detected.
Yeah.
I want Rashada. Why do I want Rashada, Daniel? It's very simple. It's the simplest equation in the entire world.
Okay. Say
more talent.
Slow down for the people.
Okay.
Slow down.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
let me articulate that.
You already lost him.
More talent.
Mm-hmm. It's better than what?
Better than less talent.
Yes. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Rashada is ultra talented.
Mm-hmm.
One of the top recruits in his class, has not dropped off, has the goods. There's a reason Florida, one of them. There's a reason Miami, one of them. Developmental wise, get him in the system with Bobo and Kirby, and things take different. And I don't care. Again, Puglisi, Montgomery, Gunnar Stockton, Rashada, great. Yeah. Go compete. Yep. The last time we had a competition like that, where we thought we knew the starting quarterback of Georgia, Daniel, we wound up going back-to-back national championships after the best competitor won and beat everybody else out.
And again, firstly, his head was laid all the way open on the operating table. But secondly, yes, competition gives you the best players.
That's it.
And if you're scared of the competition, if Carson Beck was scared of the competition,
this is important,
of after 5-star being recruited right on top of his head. You understand? Brock Vandegrift right on top of him.
Yes.
Okay. And then Stetson Bennett announces he's coming back, And now Brock Vandegrift, the 5-star kid, has another year in the system to continue to develop and get right. If Carson Beck's afraid of competition, he leaves. He's not afraid of competition. What does Georgia get? Georgia gets the best quarterback for the job, winning the job.
As he's driving around a supercar, as he's a number one draft choice. Okay, that seems like a good life.
It's so hard to overstate it. If you want Gunnar Stockton to play quarterback for Georgia,
okay,
you're an idiot. And I don't mean that because Gunnar Stockton's not the best option to play quarterback. He might be, and if he is, then I want him. But you don't want Gunnar Stockton to play quarterback for Georgia.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. What you should want is for next year when Carson Beck goes off to the NFL and it's the number 1 overall draft pick. You should want, now hang on, the best quarterback Kirby Smart has access to be the quarterback at Georgia, and for everyone else to do whatever they feel like is best for them.
Do you understand that? Because again, I'm going to get on you, not in the 199, but everybody else here is for segment 1. Remember the name Jamie Newton?
Yeah.
Remember
Jamie Newman? Just the
Newton.
Absolute
Newton. His name.
It's the fig.
Yeah, right. That's I forgot his name already because he wasn't here.
He never was. He literally never was.
But remember when you all wanted him crowned?
Yeah, needed him.
The Arab needed him. Oh my gosh,
savior of the program.
Stopped. Savior of the program. And then you guys were so mad when he took off, so pissed. Who we're going to have? What's going to happen? We're in shambles. Kirby's. What's happening at Georgia? Yada, yada. What happened, Daniel?
See, what had happened was we went back-to-back national championships and everything was just fine. I understand it. I really do from a compassionate standpoint. I do understand it because you cheer for this program and you see guys that commit and they come and they want and they stick around.
Yeah.
They stick around and they play. Right. And listen, Gunnar Stockton's he's paying his dues. He's learning. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
If he's the guy, if he's got what it takes, all of that sticking around and paying his dues will pay off just like it did for Carson Beck.
Yes.
But if by chance he's Brock Vandegrift.
Oh no.
And isn't the guy. He just ain't it, y'all. It's nothing wrong with him.
No.
He'll be very fine to pretty good for Kentucky this year. Mm-hmm. I fully expect that. There's nothing wrong with him. He just ain't it for Georgia. If he's not the guy, you need somebody there to beat him out. You cannot have redshirt freshman Ryan Puglisi trying to be the only competition for Gunnar Stockton going into a year when we need Gunnar Stockton to not be pretty good. We need Gunnar Stockton to be national championship level.
See what we're saying.
Good. Bring me more people. And
more
listen,
talent is
if
better.
Gunnar Stockton beats him out, guess where Jaden Rashada is going? Right back into the old portal, and we just keep on rolling. It don't matter none. It don't matter. You have to want the best quarterback instead of the quarterback you like.
See,
we're
going to keep banging this drum every single year. Mm-hmm. Thanks for being part of the 199. We love you. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.